Hello. We have 20 student scores on their last exam, and we want to kind of analyze how they did. Well, when we look at the table of scores, they're kind of jumbled, they're kind of all over the place, so I'd like to find a way to see how they did. I'd like to find the distribution, how the scores fell. So one way to organize the data and see the distribution of the data is to make a histogram. So I'm going to show you how to make a histogram in the calculator. Now, step one is we're going to take the data and put it in list one. We're going to take the data and put it in list one. We're going to press Stat, located on the top center. Then we're going to press number 1 for edit. And we're going to put our data in list 1. So make sure that there's nothing in list 1 by clearing your list or deleting the contents. So we have 71, enter, 73, enter, 75, enter, 78, enter, 78, enter, 78, enter, 80, enter, 82, enter, 83, enter, 84, enter, 84, enter, 86, enter, 87, enter, 89, enter, 90, enter, 92, enter, 95, enter, 98, enter, 100, enter, 100, enter. Now that we have our data in list 1, we're going to make a histogram in the calculator. So we have our data in list 1. We're going to press second y equals for stat plot. Remember, anything in blue or yellow, you have to hit second first. So second y equals gives us stat plot. Notice we have plot 1, plot 2, plot 3, so we can actually plot 3 different things on top of each other, but we only want to do one graph. So I choose number 1 for plot 1. Then the options are on or off. Notice that right now it is off because off is highlighted. We're going to press enter on top of on. On is then highlighted, which shows that plot 1 is on. We're going to press down to see what type. Now there are different pictures you can create. The first picture is a scatter plot. The second picture is a scatter plot with a line going through each point. The third picture is a histogram. So we're going to choose the third picture by pressing enter on top of the picture. We're going to press down, and it's asking us where our data is. So our data is in list 1, so we're going to press second 1 for list 1. Push enter. The next question is frequency, which you're going to leave at 1, so we're just going to press enter. Then you have an option on this version to give it a color, and we'll leave it at blue. So step 1, we put the data in the calculator. Step 2, we told the calculator that we would like a histogram of list 1, plot 1. Step 3 is the window. Now we could create our own window by pressing window and putting in values, but because we're starting, we're going to have the calculator do the window by pressing zoom 9. When you press zoom 9, it comes up with a standard window. Now we have our histogram, which I'm going to sketch for you. And it basically decided what the cutoffs are. The good thing about zoom 9 is everyone will have the same consistent picture at the end. But it kind of does whatever it wants. So to find what the cutoffs are and what falls in each bin, we're going to press the trace button, which is located on the top row towards the right. So press trace. And notice it tells us the minimum and the maximum, and then it says n. Well, the minimum is where our score, our histogram begins at 71, and the maximum is where it ends at 76.8. These are our test scores. So this bin starts at 71 and ends at 76.8. And then the n refers to how many students scores fall between 71 and 76.8. Now that's the first row, the first bar. Then, to get to the next bar, we press to the right. Notice that bar begins at 76.8 and ends at 82.6, but there are 5 students that fall in that bin. Press to the right, begins at 82.6 and goes to 88.4. There are also 5 students in that bin. Press to the right again. Starts at 88.4, ends at 94.2. There are 3 students in that bin. The next bin starts at 94.2 and ends at 100. There are 2 students in that bin. Press to the right, 100 to 105.8. Now if we stop there at 105.8, notice there are 2 students in that bin, but 105.8, that sounds a little weird. How do we get 105.8 when the largest score is 100? Well, if you look closely at the second to last bin by pressing to the left, please notice that the max is 100, but it says less than 100. So it actually ends and begins at 100. So 100 falls in the last bar. And if you look at your data, we have 2 100s. That's the last bin. So now we can look at our histogram and talk about how the students did. And it looks like most of the students fall in this area, which is a good thing. They did pretty well. We can also talk about the shape. The shape of our histogram would be skewed to the right, where most of our data is falling on the lower end, on the left, with a drag or pull on the right side. So overall, our students did well, but we can always improve to try to get our students to an A. Thank you.